Welcome to Dark Truths, Religion Uncovered. Tonight, we dive into the contrast between ancient courage and modern visibility, exploring what belief has surrendered when approval became the primary currency. We are confronted with a critical shift, the moment fear of people overshadowed the fear of God. In ancient theology, the fear of God was the foundation of moral courage. It restrained compromise and freed believers from the tyranny of public opinion. Prophets spoke boldly, knowing they could be mocked, imprisoned, or even killed. Apostles preached, fully aware that their words would cost them their reputations, safety, and ultimately their lives. Their obedience was shaped by reverence, not reaction. As Peter boldly declared, we must obey God rather than men, not out of bravado but necessity. However, modern belief often operates under a different fear. A fear of rejection, a fear of cancellation, fear of misunderstanding, and fear of losing credibility. Faith is practiced with caution, filtered through societal optics. Words are chosen carefully to minimize backlash, and silence often replaces truth when it threatens one's reputation. While this approach may seem prudent, ancient theology would label it as captivity. Scripture never regards the fear of people as wisdom. It views it as a snare. When belief becomes overly concerned with reputation, obedience becomes selective. Truth is only spoken when it is celebrated, and conviction is only expressed when it feels safe. Ancient believers understood that obedience requires public risk. Their faith was not a private conviction. It was a public allegiance. To follow God was to stand exposed and vulnerable. In today's world, this kind of visibility can feel precarious. Platforms can vanish, communities can shift, and approval can disappear overnight. As a result, belief adapts. We say less and soften our messages, waiting for consensus. But Scripture never waits for consensus. God's truth does not require permission. The fear of God liberated ancient believers from the fear of people, allowing them to speak freely without calculating the outcomes. In contrast, modern belief often reverses this dynamic. Fear of people restrains genuine faith, reducing God to an accessory rather than the focus of obedience. Ancient theology teaches that the fear of God is not terror. It is alignment. It places God above every opinion, power, and consequence. When that fear diminishes, courage diminishes as well. Truth becomes conditional, and faith becomes fragile. Tonight's truth is a penetrating one. A faith that needs approval to speak truth has already relinquished its authority. Fear of people promises safety but delivers silence, while fear of God offers obedience and the gift of freedom. Ancient believers chose freedom, even at great personal cost. In contrast, modern belief often opts for safety, mislabeling it as wisdom. Yet Scripture never praises safety over faithfulness. It extols obedient hearts. So we conclude with a challenging question that ancient theology would press upon modern belief. If speaking the truth cost you your reputation, relationships, and approval, would your fear of God still surpass your fear of people? Thank you for joining us at Dark Truths, Religion Uncovered. We invite you to share your thoughts below. Has approval replaced reverence? Or does belief still possess the courage to obey God when no one is applauding? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Until next time.